Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our February update for Wounded No More. We're excited to share with you what's been happening in the last few weeks, as well as what we have coming up in the month of February. Last month was a lot of fun. We had a lot of really exciting things happen in Anacostia.
Yeah, we had a team from Minnesota come join us out there, and it was beautiful when you're part of Kingdom Family and you have the same heart for people to see people like Jesus sees them. It's amazing what God will do.
Right.
And so we had several people experience healing. One of the healings we posted on all of our social media of Barbara, who was healed of diabetic neuropathy in her feet.
Crazy.
It was amazing. And then we had 3 people saved, and we had a few people get free from some demonic oppression. It was a wonderful time, and we've just been really busy kind of just sharing the love of Jesus with people that we meet.
It's great because we're starting to see a lot more salvation out in Anacostia. So we're really excited about that because that's really the big piece of the puzzle, right? I also had a chance this week to sit for an interview with my friend Gary, who started a new podcast. And so that's really exciting, just sharing about kind of the supernatural journey we've been on and some of my thoughts on supernatural ministry and what the Christian life should look like. So the video to that testimony of Barbara, the link to the podcasts are all in the description below. So we just encourage you to check those out. Be encouraged by those things. We think it'll be really good for you.
Yeah, so we started the year off with a bang, and we're keeping on going. In February, super excited. Wounded No More has been able to participate in the CADCA National Forum as part of the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration Prevention Day.
Wow,
that's a mouthful, but it's super exciting because we feel called into the marketplace, and we feel called into many different places, but most of all to be able to show how important spirituality and faith is in healing, especially in the mental health field and with substance abuse prevention, intervention, and recovery, which is a topic near and dear to my heart. So I'll be doing that on Monday. I'll be joining you. If anybody's free, come out to National Harbor, the Gaylord. We're going to have a great time hearing what's happening in the country and how you can get involved to help stop drug addiction.
Come on. And it's always fun when we can infuse the faith-based piece. You know, we know that there's a supernatural element that the traditional world hasn't really grabbed hold of, and so we try to bring that element into these other environments. Speaking of that, we have a couple of really cool things happening over the next few weeks. We'll be doing a half-day deliverance seminar at a local church here in D.C. That's going to be fun, teaching about how to get people set free from demonic influences of all varieties in their lives. We'll also be teaching at YWAM DC, the YWAM school here in the area, for an entire week. That's going to be a blast. Always love hanging out with YWAMers, especially the ones who are part of David's Tent in DC. They're always really fun to be with, and we enjoy pouring out and just kind of blessing them and encouraging them and equipping them for the work that God has for them.
Yeah, and then this week, if you don't know, is the National Prayer Breakfast event here in Washington, D.C. We're excited to take part in that event and several satellite events that are happening. So pray for us. Pray for all the world leaders that are coming into the area. Pray that God would just show up in a miraculous and supernatural way, that there would just be divine appointments, and that his agenda would be the one above all.
Yeah, and hey, we're working with Global Celebration and with Georgian Banov to launch a supernatural ministry school here in D.C. So if you've been wanting to go to a supernatural ministry school, but you can't go to California, or you can't drive up to Pennsylvania, or you can't, take 9 months of your life off to go to one of these schools, we're bringing it to D.C. It will be a nighttime school, 1 or 2 nights a week. We're still working out the details, but keep an eye out on our website. We'll have a Taste and See night in the month of February, I think end of February, early March, and then we'll have 2 more back-to-back every month after that you can come out and you can get a feel for what the school's going to look like, and the official launch is in the fall, so keep an eye out for an email and more information on that. That's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, so keep up with us on social media through Instagram and Facebook. We would love to hear from you guys, and we have so many things that we want to share with you, so you'll be hearing more about that throughout the month. And then we're just super excited about what God is doing.
We had an amazing time this week watching the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Woo, go Chiefs!
Yeah, and what's so interesting, is that there was a prophecy given, I think it was almost 20 years ago, by Bob Jones, where he said, when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, that's going to be the start of the next revival movement. I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said, but I think that's a really big deal. We just had the Chiefs for the first time in, I think, 50 or 51 years in the Super Bowl, and then they won the Super Bowl, and I really believe that that's marking a radical shift, and that we're going to start to see some amazing things happen as God starts to move more radically in the earth.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for, guys, to be a guiding way for people to know Jesus and to have encounters with him, right? So that's what we're called to do. We're all called to do that. Outside of spending time with him, to be refreshed and regenerated and rejuvenated, our call is to lead people to Jesus and invite them to join the kingdom family. It doesn't have to be difficult. We are working on some trainings that are going to be super exciting and easily accessible from around the world. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with us for a few minutes, and stay up with what we're doing on the website, and we'll talk to you guys next month.